Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Gotcha, hello. All right. Just waiting for a few more people to arrive. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. All right, well, welcome everyone. Thanks for your patience with making this into a webinar instead of a live in-house deal or workshop. But I had a couple people who, for various reasons, couldn't make it here in person, and they really wanted to be part of it. And I also figured with the holidays, you know, everybody's so busy that it might be challenging to find the time to get here. You know, people have kids and lives and car situations and all kinds of stuff. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do this as a webinar to give people a chance to do all those things that keep us so busy during the holidays, and also still put attention on ourselves and on our health, and making sure we enjoy ourselves through the holidays and don't just have a bunch of stress running us. And part of that is making it a little more easeful to join us tonight. So that's what we're doing. Our talk is on healthy holidays, and so we're going to cover just a short bit about some things you can do, some tips to help stay on track with your health and your health goals through this holiday season. Because we all know, you know, we have the stress, running around, busy, going to this event, shopping, trying to get everything on your list, and then we pile on top of that all of the potentially unhealthy eating options that become available for us during the holiday season. So for part of this time, I'm going to screen share my slide presentations with you. So sometimes you'll see me, and sometimes you'll see the PowerPoint on the screen, assuming everything works well with our technical side of things. So I'm actually going to do that right now. I'm going to send you over to my screen here in just a moment. All right, so healthy holidays. So it seems to be a common thing. You know, many of us tend to let some of our health choices go because, it's the holidays. Hey, it's the holidays. And there's nothing really wrong with that. I mean, it is just one part of the year, one time of year. But, if we want to have a better chance of coming out on the other side of New Year's Eve, feeling good, having good energy, feeling happy, then there are certainly some things we can do to make that more likely. So we're going to cover a couple things. So one is our healthy eating. Next we have healthy activity, healthy giving, healthy caring, and healthy bodies. So if we can focus on these 5 items through the holiday times, we'll have a better shot of feeling great as we come through, having a good time, enjoying ourselves, enjoying all of the activities and the fun stuff we have to do, and also coming out on the other side feeling good about ourselves. So first, we have healthy eating. And so it's that time of year, getting together with family, friends, acquaintances, coworkers, neighbors, and others. It usually involves some sort of heavy carb item like a dessert or drinks and other questionable to our health items. So you say, why not? It's the holidays, go for it. And you do. But then what happens, like we were talking about, January 1st, you realize you put on 10 pounds, and then you have the inevitable New Year's resolution. I got to lose 10 pounds. And it seems like this cycle is a really common thing in our society. So here's some ideas of what you can do to change that pattern. So idea number 1 is bring a healthy dish. So if you go to an event, people often bring food or drinks as gifts. Bring something healthy. It doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be, a big kale salad, but some fruit, some healthier drinks, sparkling water, those type of things. And, that way you at least know there'll be something there that's not just, loaded with sugar and so forth. Also, tip number 2, as far as eating goes, eat the healthiest stuff first. That way you make sure you get it, and before you know it, you'll fill up on that stuff, and you won't feel as inclined to overeat with the desserts and the sweets and those type of things. Also, if you eat slowly and really enjoy your food, it's actually not just more satisfactory, but it gives your body time to process what you're eating, and you'll be more aware when you're full instead of tending to overeat because everything tastes so sweet and delicious. Next, you fill your plate with the lower calorie and healthier items. So, if there's a vegetable plate or fruit or those type of things, load up on that stuff and just have smaller portions of some of those sweets and other things you want to indulge in because it's the holidays. And then an extra tip on that is, if you don't want to just seem lame, like you're just drinking water, fill your glass with seltzer water and throw some fruit in there. It'd be, a festive drink, but not chock full of sugar and so forth, and high fructose corn syrup and that kind of stuff. And then if you really want to, kick butt during the holiday time as you're eating, keep a holiday food journal. So just have a little journal you can put in your purse or in your jacket pocket and start writing down what you eat. And it can be pretty illuminating. On the way to the party or the second event of the evening, take a quick glance at your journal in the car. And that way, you know how much you've already eaten, and you can make some conscious decisions about what you're going to do next. So that's really the main thing. It's just being sensible, choosing to eat a lot of the healthy stuff or the lower calorie, lower sugar things first, but not feel like you have to deprive yourself, but just make sure you're eating healthy things in addition to some of the other indulgences that we find ourselves, wanting to do or face with in the holiday time. So the next thing is healthy activity. And I know for me, this is often a challenging one because my time has so many demands on it during the holiday season. I have 3 kids and we have different functions and we want to go, Christmas shopping is a big time taker, family events, friends, and so forth. And so it's like having the time to maintain my exercise schedule is both, I find challenging, but I also know it's extremely important. So I feel good. I feel like I'm full of energy and honestly, so I feel happy through that stressful time. So other challenges are that, around here it's rainy all the time and cold. It makes it less pleasant to be outside. And it can be extra busy. But what I have found that works for me is looking at my weekly schedule and putting it in there. And so it's like Monday night, I get home, get the kids in bed, and I exercise. After 8:30, maybe not the ideal time to exercise, but that's when it works for me. Things like that. So find the actual time, this time of this day during the week, and that's when I'm going to put my exercise in for this period of time. And so, that's one thing. Just make sure that you put it in there in your schedule. And then, try to stay motivated. Look at some things you can motivate yourself with. Remember that healthy people attract people. Remember that this is a time of year that's full of family and friend time. You want you want to feel confident. You want to feel good in your body. So stay disciplined and keep in mind you want to feel as great as possible when you go to things like your office holiday parties. And one little tip you could try is wear your favorite pair of jeans, pants, dress, suit, whatever it is, at least once a week during the whole holiday season, and notice how it fits. And doing this might be a little extra motivation to keep on track and adjust your eating/exercise habits to ensure that you still feel good all the way through the season. All right. So our next one is healthy giving and caring. Now we care, here at Tenino Chiropractic and me, we care about your physical health, obviously, but your mental and emotional well-being during this time is just as important. Since this is a time for love and giving, what better time to indulge your mental, emotional self as well? So giving back to your community, participating in helping those in need, and making people you care about that are around you feel special. So that can go a long way in helping the society and also helping how you feel about yourself and feel like it's a good opportunity to really join in that giving spirit that a lot of people are already involved in at this time of the year. So some ideas: you could spend some time volunteering at a local charity. Helping those in needs is a great way to do that. You could donate. There's coat drives, toy drives, all kinds of stuff like that. You can give monetary donations to any of those organizations. You can send a written letter or call an old friend that you haven't spoken to or seen in a while, or a family member that's been a little distant from you. Just, holidays are a great time. Hey, I was thinking of you. It's Christmas time. Merry Christmas, or, Happy Thanksgiving or Happy New Year's, whatever the case may be. And what a great opportunity to break the ice. There's some reason that it's been a while since you've spoken. And then you could try, really caring for yourself. So you could start a new meditation or yoga routine, read a good book, write an awesome blog post and share it with your family and friends, things like that. Also a tip is, random acts of kindness. They go a long way. You can see how good you feel by randomly buying a person behind you, like in the coffee line, buying their coffee for them, or paying, a nice compliment to somebody who's not necessarily expecting it, a waiter or waitress at a restaurant, about their service. So take the attention to do those extra little things and really enrich your spirit and those around you. All right. So next we have healthy bodies. Now, of course, we covered this with healthy eating and healthy movement, but in particular, we're talking about don't forget to see your chiropractor and don't miss your appointments. Now, more than any time of the year, it's vital that you keep on track with your appointments and those self-care items. And keep in mind, chiropractic's not just for back problems. Of course, most of you know that, but because your nervous system is how you live your life, it's the master controller of your health and your mental state of being. When you have a lot of extra stress, it can really push your body down. This is the flu season, or the so-called flu season, and that's not because the flu virus, goes on vacation for the summer. It's really because there's so much added stress. People aren't exercising. They're not eating as well. They're not getting their vitamin D from sunshine, and they start to we start to often put aside those healthy behaviors, going to your chiropractor and getting your regular chiropractic adjustments. And so, your brain works closely with your spine and sends all sorts of signs to other parts of your body and systems within your body And if your spine isn't in good health and your nervous system is disconnected, your brain and body are disconnected, your body likely won't feel as well. And you may not notice it right at first because you're so stressed and running on adrenaline through this holiday season. But you will certainly pay for it down the road if you don't, take care of that. So the chiropractic adjustment. And the reason that I put that in there is because keep in mind that one of the biggest challenges and why we have this struggle in the holiday season is, like I was just saying, it has to do with running on stress. And, I'm going to turn the screen share off for a moment and we'll come back to it. So when I first started out in chiropractic, I worked for some different chiropractors at their offices. And the first Christmas season, we happened to have not a big snowstorm, but a little snow, a few inches of snow right around Christmas time, or right around between the middle of November and December. And we had a spike in business. Lots of people were coming in extra visits beyond their plan, or people that were sporadic were all coming in, and we were busy. And I chalked it up to the snow. People would come in, they say, "Oh, I was shoveling snow, and I hurt my back," or this and that, slipped on the ice. But then the next year, we didn't have any snow. The weather was kind of like it is now, 40s, 50s, raining, no snow to shovel anywhere. But I noticed the same phenomenon happened again. And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. There's no to be shoveling. Why are there so many more people coming in between Thanksgiving and Christmas? Like the old Christmas carol. This is the most wonderful time of the year. Why are all these people having all these challenges?" And they weren't coming in saying, "Oh, I'm so stressed out." They were saying things like, "I have headaches," or "My neck hurts," or "My back hurts," or these type of things. But there was no one hit them in the head and now they have headaches. They just woke up and started having headaches. And so the reason that their body was responding this way is because of the added stress that they were experiencing. And if you think about all of these things that we put on ourselves, finding the right gift for every person and making sure they're happy. I mean, I have 3 kids. One's a baby, but an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. And I can see where the temptation is to drive myself crazy trying to find out what the exact right gift for them is, and find the place to get it and sneak it into the house so they don't find it, and hide it in the right place so they can't get to it. And then, I hope that they're excited. And what happens if they're disappointed? And then when, they are disappointed because, inevitably, sometimes you don't hit the mark with, the presents, and it's just that alone is a huge stress. And then you got office parties, and then you got all kinds of stuff. So after that second year, I started to think about it, wondering, I didn't get a lot of thought. But then when that third Christmas came around, the third year that I had been practicing chiropractic, in that holiday season between Thanksgiving and New Year's came, and there was just crowded in the office. I started to, put 2 and 2 together. I asked Dr. Moss, who I was working for at the time, had been in practice for about 20 years. She said, "Oh yeah, this is always the busiest time of the year for every chiropractic office. It's the most stressful time of the year." And I thought, wow, that's such an amazing thing that now that's supposed to be this most wonderful time of the year is so stressful for everyone. And I've seen that since I've been in practice here, my own place here in Tenino, that every year this is the busiest time. There's always a bump. And, I try to do my best to really help people understand that stress has a big impact on their body. But the truth of the matter is there's a lot of stress that we have that's not things we should avoid. Going to all the Christmas parties, having time with a relative, finding things that your kids will love, that you feel like really speak to a quality of them that you feel good about. All these things can be stresses, but it doesn't mean we just avoid them. And so that's really why I, as a chiropractor, am interested in the healthy holidays and really making a point of how to look at these stresses. And my job as the chiropractor is to work with your body and do my best to help your body deal with those stresses in the most appropriate way and not have it cause these physiologic problems that all these people were coming in with. I mentioned, headaches and neck pain, old back injury from 20 years ago and things like that. And the way we do that is, with the chiropractic adjustment. Let me bring my slides back up because I got a couple other pictures here I want to show you. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. Bear with me. All right, there we go. Chiropractic adjustment. So this next slide is a case study, and I put this one up before in other presentations. Some of you might have seen it before, but this is John's story. And what you see here is 3 different computer scans that help us look at a person's nervous system and how it's functioning now, how the buildup of stresses over time have affected it, and where to go from here. And so if you see on the top of that page there, in January, on the left we have the thermal scan, and then in the middle we have this what's called the surface EMG or static EMG scan, and then on the farthest right, that's called the heart rate variability scan. And so these are simple, non-invasive scans that we do here at the office. It's space certified technology, meaning that NASA developed it to look at astronauts and see how stress is affecting their bodies and their lives. And we measure it because it's the most accurate technology there is to really get a window into the function of the nervous system. They can do MRIs and all kinds of imaging and scanning to look at where the nerve flow is and do nerve conduction studies and these sorts of things. But when we look at your nervous system from this viewpoint and this perspective, we get this tremendously valuable pieces of information. So that thermal scan on the left, that is looking at the part of our nervous system that controls all of our internal vital organs and all of our glands and how they interact and work together. The one in the middle, that SEMG scan, that's looking at the neuromotor system. That's how our brain is communicating with our muscular system. So that's, tight muscles and so forth, but also a big part of that is our posture and how our brain perceives our body in space. When we do the scan, the patient is just sitting at rest. And so we see how their body perceives that, whether it's in balance and at ease, or whether there's muscle tone and tension. And then the third one there, the heart rate variability on the right, that's really measuring what we call the general adaptive potential of the person at that point in time. And so it's looking at those cumulative effects of stress and where they are in terms of the scale between 100% healthy all the way to symptoms. So we know, because we've all experienced, we all know somebody or know a friend of a friend who felt great one day and then dropped dead of a heart attack the next day, or felt great one day, went to the doctor for a routine checkup, found out they had terminal cancer. So what we know about those situations is, the person who had the heart attack, they didn't have 100% perfectly functioning heart, on Wednesday, and then their heart collapsed on Thursday. We know that was a process in their body. Their heart was getting less and less healthy, and the body was getting less and less healthy over time. They just didn't feel it. And the same with the cancer. That didn't just show up in one day. That had been building for a while. And so what this heart rate variability allows us to do is measure where each person is along that spectrum between actually being 100% healthy and just before you feel the symptoms or have the disease or the diagnosis. So there we go. So John, that's his first scan in January. And just a quick thing, the thermal scan, that's major nerve interference, and red is the worst. So we see a lot of red on that. Same with the center one, we see some red in different areas there. And the heart rate variability, what you want is to measure right in the middle of that green in the center of the sort of bullseye there. I don't know if you can see it, but his scan is on the left, far to the left, and right between the orange and the red. It's a little white dot. And then he started his course of chiropractic care. And so in February, we see his scans, his follow-up scans. Tremendously better on the thermal scan, surface EMG, significantly better. Heart rate variability, starting to aim and move towards that green. Still in the orange, so still pretty tough shape. but more adaptability, less stress affecting his body. And then in March, after continuing chiropractic care, we see a tremendous improvement in the thermal scan, almost clear, couple spots. This static EMG, still some color in there, but better, not any red. And then when for the heart rate variability, we see that he's into the yellow now, so still heading in the right direction. And this patient said by March that he had the quality of life like he was in his 20s again. And this is a man, I think, in his 50s. So a big difference there for him. And you know, tying it all together, it's like we're talking about the stress of the holidays and so forth. And this is really the most remarkable way to take a look at how that stress is affecting us, because we might be busy that we don't even take the time to notice, like, oh my gosh, I have no energy, or my body is hurting, or these types of things, because we got to keep going and going and going. But what this technology allows us to do is really take a picture of it, and then look at the change that we're having, how much better or not better your body is able to deal with stress as you go through your daily life. And this is another set. This is just with surface EMG and thermal scan, Debbie's story. So Debbie was in poor health with a dim prognosis. Her medical doctor only gave her months to live. They gave her a terminal diagnosis. And she sort of, tried everything else, so she decided to go to a chiropractor. And at the time, she just hoped that the chiropractic care was going to make her last days a little more comfortable, because she was having a lot of pain as well. And so in February, she had the SEMG and the thermal scans, and you can see the EMG, tons of red lines there on the top left picture. Thermal scan, huge red spikes in that upper cervical spine right up by the skull. Vitally important to the function of our body, that what's called the upper cervical spine, right there below our skull where our brainstem is. She started a course of care. March, much better scans on both counts. The red is completely gone from the thermal scan, and a lot of those high marks from the EMG. By April, you wouldn't even know that she had had a tough time. I mean, the thermal scan, really good. Surface EMG, also very good. Not even that much color anymore. And as the course of her care progressed, as it says here in the writing, Debbie's subsequent scans showed a major reduction in nerve interference. And with her body operating more efficiently, Debbie actually began to heal. So rather than going downhill to the end of her life, she actually turned around and began healing, because now the simple thing of her brain and nervous system being connected with her whole body and allowing that healing force, that life force that within all of us to flow as it naturally does from above down and inside out, she began to heal. And so the chiropractic care she received enabled the incredible organism known as the human body to fight her illness. And today, years later, she's still alive, leads a happy, healthy life, still goes to a chiropractor on a regular basis. And what this technology allowed her chiropractor to do is really see where she was, give an accurate assessment, and then measure the change as she went on. On that note, this is the technology that we recently got here at the office. We're real excited to have, mostly because of the tremendous benefits, the tremendous potential, and the darn good information it gives us. It's remarkable, just in a short month or so that we've had the technology in our office, how much different and how much more information I've gotten on the function, how I've been able to customize the care for each person and demonstrate both to myself and to them where they are, just bare bones honest, aside essentially from how they feel pain-wise, and also to then make relevant recommendations that then we can measure legitimate change beyond just how good they feel or how bad they feel. Because as we remember from our example of the person who had the heart attack or the person who had terminal cancer, that felt fine the day before, the measure of our health goes well beyond how we feel. So feeling good is part of it, certainly, but it's also a poor indicator of the entire scope of our health. And measuring our nerve system function, how well that master system is working and communicating, is really the most relevant, most effective way to measure, how our body's doing. So what we're doing as part of our being part of our webinar here, our event is offering this special. It's a holiday special. And so procrastination is the thief of health. So this is really encouraging you to take action today. And so a complete health checkup, which is a value of about $250. Our holiday special is $25. You, and I know most of you on are likely, already patients of ours. Though, if you have family members or guests watching, they're certainly welcome to take us up on this. Also, if there's someone special you're thinking of that would really benefit from minimally just getting a nerve scan and just seeing where they are, and if things are in great shape, great, and if they're challenged, then we can really help them. And so it's for you or a loved one of yours, family member, friend, neighbor, coworker, whoever you feel like really needs this care, and can really use it. So what they receive is a consultation, a drug search, and that means if they're on prescription drugs, we'll research them and look to see if some of the health problems or health challenges they're experiencing actually are side effects or effects from some of these drug interactions. There'll be a thorough examination, including the 3-part insight scan, which you see there on the right. Those 3 scans: the thermal scan, the surface EMG, and the heart rate variability. Our computer program puts that together in what's called the core score. So it has a weighted averaging system. It does. That gives us just a number. It's a 1 to 100 number, kind of like we would get graded on in school. So it's a grade. It tells you where your health really is, and we'll give you a detailed report with that. And then if you are a good candidate for chiropractic care, then we'll give you personalized, individualized recommendations of how we can help turn that health around and get you feeling great. And so since it's a webinar, typically when we have an in-person workshop and we have any kind of offer like this, you have to schedule that visit before you leave. Since we have a webinar and it's the holidays and people are busy, we've extended it. So if you call the office by the 10th, which is a week from today, and you mention the holiday special, you can receive this deal. So if you have a coworker, tell them, if they call us by the 10th and tell them they want to come in on the holiday new patient special, we'll charge them just the $25 and they'll get all of those things, just for that $25, that $250 value. And just think of the gift that can be, at this time of giving gifts. When you think about Debbie's story that we were just talking about and how she basically just started seeing the chiropractor because she thought she was having pain and she just wanted to feel not so painful for those last days of her life. And what ended up happening was the remarkable, which is normal, but miraculous nonetheless, that she turned it around and she began to heal. And she continues to live happily to this day. I mean, remarkable things like that happen all the time in our office and in other chiropractic offices because we're just working on it, and that is to be healthy and heal itself. So I welcome you to take us up on that, to give that. What a great Christmas gift that could be to somebody, or holiday gift. Or, don't wait for them. If you have a loved one or neighbor, family member, or anybody, send them in. It could save their lives, or at least improve their lives. And then I want to leave you with our final and most important tip. And that is, do everything you can to really enjoy yourself. The holiday time is really about being together with friends and family, reflecting on it's at the end of the year, so it's for reflecting on our year and all of our successes and all the wonderful things that have happened to us and for us in the year. And so really do what you can to take that time, give for the sake of giving, care for the sake of caring, and love for the sake of loving. And that's the most important thing I feel like I could leave you with going into having the healthy holidays. The other things are vital, important, eat well, make sure you keep moving and exercising, give, all these things. But the reason we do all this stuff is so that we can have meaningful and joyful life. And so my greatest wish at this holiday time for all of you is to really put our attention on that, focus, enjoy, take those extra moments. You know, when you see an excited child opening their present, or you're at a holiday gathering and everybody's laughing and enjoying, just take an extra moment and reflect and consider how wonderful these things are and how great of a time of year it is to really consider each other and consider our relationships and our lives. So that's really my main thing that I wanted to share here at the end. And I appreciate everyone making the space to be on the webinar. And I know it was a last-minute change, but from all of us here at Tenino Chiropractic, we're wishing you a happy holiday season for you and your loved ones. And so take care, and we are going to sign off now, but I really appreciate you guys being part of it. All right. Bye now.